This is the morning of the first night with the Swedish chickens, the little ones in the new chicken coop. So I think they are doing pretty well. So we're gonna be upgrading this thing over the coming weeks when we start to integrate the older chickens. But today I'm going to do a little divider from here over to here, and we'll keep the 6 older chickens on this side, and then the 19 Swedish chickens can roam on the other side, and that way they start to integrate, because we tried to put them all together and they were fairly mean to one another. So we're going to try this process and see how it works out. So we did our little divider down the center here. We used some of the mesh from the garden, the deer netting, and divided it off so that the older birds and the younger birds can start to integrate. This will allow them to keep from fighting and accidents not to happen, so they each have their food and water on either side. And this goes up high enough to where I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about them hopping over, but we'll see in time. They only have one low roost here, so that'd be quite a leap for them to try to make it up another 5 feet. So we'll see what happens. If I gotta put a little bit of netting across that, then that's what I'll do. But yeah, that'll work for now. So we are getting ready to install the chicken door. We just received it from this chicken run company. So I'm gonna get a measurement how large this opening is, and then we are gonna install it somewhere around here. So I'll go inside and drill a couple holes, and then I'll cut it out from the outside. Just cut a little hole through the paneling on the inside. Now we're going to drill 4 holes and cut out the door opening. So I just got done drilling the 4 holes from the inside out. The reason why I did that is it gives me a nice little plot so I know where to actually cut, because I'm going to cut from the outside in. So this allows me to know where I'm at as far as height, where the studs are over. Just helps locate exactly where is the best spot to put a chicken door in. So we got some lines plotted out. Now I'm gonna cut out a section in between here, down to here, and over and up, and then try out fitting the door. Just got the door cut in. I'll probably clean it up a little bit more. These chickies are real curious what I'm doing. And then I got the ducks over here curious what I'm doing. Perfect. Since I made this cutout, pretty much all the birds have came out and decided to join me in the chicken run. They seem to be very happy. So I'm getting ready to build the nesting box on the chicken coop. It's one of the last projects to get done on the chicken coop. So it's going to be about 5.5 feet long by about 1 foot wide by about 1.5 feet high, and it'll have a lid on the back so you can open it up, and then it'll have 5 compartments for the nesting areas. It'll have a slight taper on it so that the eggs can roll back. That's basically it. I'm going to have it match the outside. So I found some scrap wood that's over here, so we'll see what we can make out of it. So I was just doing some layout. This is the side profile of the nesting box. So we're gonna do 18 wide by 7 high by 14 high on this side. And we'll have a little ledge up top. So the hinge would go right about here. That's 3.5 inches wide. So I'll cut 2 of these, one for either end, and then we'll make our dividers that'll go in the center. Just got done cutting the hole through the side. So now I can attach this nesting box. We did a little bit of a frame up on. Get that attached, and then we're going to use some more of that scraps of the barnwood siding. Put that on here, and it should be the perfect height for our daughter to come up and be able to open it up and grab the eggs. So this should work out really perfectly for us. I'm going to try to get it so that I can put the nesting boxes right in between the studs. I'd ideally like to do 5 nesting boxes, but that might require me removing one of the studs in the middle here and making the dividers a little bit wider. So I'm going to see how that works. So I just got both the lids completed. What I'm going to do next is use a little bit of stain that we have here, some darker stain we've had on the shelf for a long time, and stain the top of this. We'll do a little bit of a sealer on it, but this is 2 separate hatches that I have here, which divides the boxes up. So after I get it stained and sealed, I'll put the hinges on, and then I just got to put the barnwood around the base here, wrap that, and that should pretty much finish it up. So we got this thing wrapped in the barnwood siding all the way around all the sides. I think it came out pretty good. I just cut these out. These are the bases to the nesting boxes. And this whole thing has a taper on it. So if I can get this thing out, it fits pretty snug. So see how this has like a 2.5 inch drop from here to here. So this lays in there just like so that there is a taper on this, so the eggs can roll towards the back, and the chickens don't have to trample them when they go in and out of the nesting boxes. And we'll put a little divider here on the side so that we can put the nesting pads nicely organized on the edges, and then we'll put dividers up here. So just need to do 2 dividers, and that'll create 4 boxes. So yesterday we got done the nesting boxes, and I cleaned up this area a bit. So this is where we're putting our barrel for our rain catchment. Over here it's on a couple of cinder blocks, and we are going to make our own gutter to go on the edge of this metal here. So the plan is, I dug some pieces out of one of our storage bins, and I'm going to use this 2-inch piece of PVC. And the method is, you basically cut out a slot. So this is 1 inch. I'm leaving 2 inches uncut at either end. So we'll cut this, and then that'll essentially nestle right over the edge of the metal so that it can capture all the flow. And then we'll put another piece at the end directed down right into the top of the barrel. So we have one cap for the one side, and then we have 190 for the other side. So that'll just go right on there. And then I'm guessing we'll probably have to do some sort of degree at the end to get inside the barrel. So we're gonna get this cut and get it fitted. And oh yeah, these are these little straps I had laying around. So we'll use those and some good screws with a fender washer and get it attached right to here. I'm gonna cut the ends real quick. This is just the little 2-inch section. gutter. So there you have it. It's got a 1-inch notch. This thing's like 10 feet long or a little over. So the ends are all left 2 inches at the ends so that the caps actually work. So now we can get it fitted. See how it looks. So we got our gutter attached. I ended up not using the straps because they just weren't gonna work right. But I put the cap at the end, and I had to pre-drill all the holes with an 1/8 inch bit. I did them every other rib. So then I still used those nice waterproof screws with the gasket on the top, even though it's really not that necessary, but they look good. So they're 2-inch screws. And I got my 90 on down here, and then I just have to make my chute right down to the bin. But I think that'll hold up for a very long time. We have like this tree that's right here, so I don't think there's that many leaves that are gonna come down, but time will tell. We'll see how well this holds up from getting clogged. But if it does get clogged, that should be pretty easy for me to just take off these 6 screws and clean it out all at once. But that is the method for making a quick DIY gutter. So we'll get the rest of these pieces cut and then get that thing plumbed in for the chicken feeders. So we are all done our rain catchment system. We had 2 rains this past weekend, and this thing's already filled to the brim, so that's cool. And this is all complete over here. Put some handles on it, got the hinges on. So this I have goes right down to just a little bungee and a hook. And it also goes right up here to a bungee up here to a hook, so it stays up. We have our egg cartons. They already laid a couple eggs. It's from this morning, so I'm gonna close it before they try to get out. That's how that works. This side is basically the identical. But so far, it's working out pretty well. What's up, guys? What's up, Bippy? So I have this drum that I've been holding on to for some time now. I always used it just to hold some odds and ends in the shop, but I think a better use for it is going to be chicken feeders. So I think this thing is like a 30 gallon or something, maybe a 25. I don't know. Doesn't say on it. But we picked these little feeders up at Tractor Supply, and we're just gonna hole saw in a 3-inch hole and put them in, and this should be enough to hold probably maybe 3 bags of feed. We were going to do the little technique with the 4-inch PVC pipe where you fill that up, but this is much easier to use, or I should say to fill, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to use this edge of this rib here on the drum as my indicator on how far from the bottom up I'm going to place these holes, and we will do 3 holes on this and then install the feeders. Just made the 3 holes, so we're going to open this thing up. This, you just unscrew it, slide that in through there, And then put the collar right on and just screw it down tight. So it's been a few weeks since I last jumped onto this project. Everything's working out pretty well right now. So I'm going to work on the litter chute. Well, really it's the droppings chute that's going to go out through this window here. So we'll have it kind of be on a slant, and then we'll put the roosts going across. So I'm going to get a couple of measurements now, and we'll get to building it. So I'm just cutting up a couple of pieces for the trough. Use some 1/2-inch plywood, using some pieces for the back for support. This is all just scraps that we got laying around. Also got some white sheet metal. So we'll use that for inside the trough. And then probably some of this corners that we got from the auction, which I don't have a use for, so those will probably be our edges. I think that'll work. So we got the base of the trough made. A couple of pieces of 1/2-inch plywood. Used a few scraps of boards for kind of like a little brace backbone of this thing. So now we're going to cut some of the sheet metal that's over here, lay it across, and then use these corners, metal corners to a building that we got for the edges. Just got the sheet metal cut. Now we will work on the sides of the tray. Starting to get a measurement on these little side pieces. So I just tuck them underneath. They just go right under. And then I will cut the ends off. And then put some sheet metal screws and screw them in place. So here you have it. I am complete the chute. So the droppings would just go right onto here. And it's metal, so you'll be able to sweep them right out the window. All you'd have to do is just take the screen out, and then they'll go right out into the garden. So this still allows the window to work as it should. Keep it closed to keep, predators out and stuff. But on hot days, we can still have it open. And when it gets really dirty, we can just scrape out the droppings right out into our compost bin. This is an update. Everything is working pretty well. Dropping chute's working pretty well. So all the droppings are landing on the chicken chute. So we'll be able to just open up the window and then just scrape all this right out. If you like the idea, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.